I'm Donny Nichols, and I'm going to be interviewing Jackie Geary.
That's me.
So Jackie, tell us who Jackie Geary is.
Who is Jackie Geary? It's me. She's a human. I was just discussing, she's from Long Island, where she used to talk like this when she was little. It's a home video about me and egg salad. She's an actor, which I prefer actor to actress.
Okay.
What else can I tell you? Who is she? She's a girl.
Very pretty one.
Thanks, they just did my hair. Let's get more specific.
All right, well, how did you get into acting then?
As a ute. Like,
As a
ute, as they say.
How young of a ute?
So young. In the home movies, I would break in and do obnoxious singing. And I apparently, this is kind of family legend, but I was taken to see Annie, my favorite, and I apparently my mom got great seats, and I broke out of the aisle and ran onto the stage to try to sing It's a Hard Knock Life with the Broadway cast, and she had to run up and take me back.
So they didn't let you?
No.
Okay.
That is their loss, I'm thinking.
Agreed.
That was a mistake on Annie's part. And then I went to theater camp like a little dork, sang my songs at school, and then took it from there. I did go to college. Well, as I got to be older, I was like, I'm going to be a grown-up and learn things and be a professional. And I went to college for women's history.
Okay.
And I was going to be a women's historian. I got a job at Ms. Magazine, which is a magazine started by Gloria Steinem.
Oh. And
then was like, nope, I'm going to go back to being
Change
an
it.
actor. And got in my Toyota and drove to LA with $200. Yeah.
Hey, it's a good story.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was a boring drive, though.
All right, well,
Yes.
in the further of the acting, now your new movie, White House Down.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The White House is going down.
Uh-oh.
That's
It's going down, so it's not down yet.
Not done yet. It's really exciting, directed by Roland Emmerich of Independence Day in 2012 fame. Starring Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx, and this fantastic young actress Joey King, and Maggie Gyllenhaal, and Richard Jenkins, and James Woods, and I'm in there. And it's a really exciting, obviously Roland Emmerich type blockbuster movie, but with this really fantastic sort of buddy, almost comedy element, with Channing Tatum, who plays a Capitol policeman who wants to be a Secret Service agent, and Jamie Foxx playing the president. And they wind up with this sort of buddy comedy dynamic, which is, I think, fantastic, and people would like.
Now, how was it working with Jamie Foxx and Channing Tatum?
Surreal.
I can imagine.
Pretty insane, yeah. They're humans. Who knew? They really are humans. And wonderful, nice people. I actually didn't meet Jamie Foxx. Our one scene together is over the phone.
Okay.
So we didn't actually meet each other. But everybody else couldn't have been more lovely and cool and funny and nice to me, which is nice. So yeah, it was pretty neat.
Now, how are you and your character Jenna different?
We have different first names, so they both start with a J.
That's one.
Jenna, what I love about her is she has a job to do that she takes very seriously. She's the assistant to the vice president. She has a lot that she needs to handle. So there's this very sort of business side of her, which, as you can tell, me as Jackie is a little more quirky. So she's, got things a lot more under control, but at the same time is a girl who has a big crush on this guy who happens to be Channing Tatum.
Oh.
So what I love about the character is getting to be a woman who's a professional, but also, feeling feelings, having things happen.
Now, what is your favorite movie or memory? Your favorite memory from the filming?
Wow, my very first day was this crazy scene in the Capitol building, which they recreated these sets almost perfectly, and they were massive, and just you would walk in and your jaw would just drop because they're these near replicas, if not exact, of these buildings. And for that to be my first day, first scene, and there's Richard Jenkins hanging around, and Michael Murphy hanging around, and Peter Jacobson, and Channing Tatum, and there's Roland Emmerich, and there's, about 100 extras, and all of these, the Capitol building recreated, and just really walking on that set and feeling like, wow, I get to be here.
I get to play.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, when is it going to be hitting the theaters?
Hitting the theaters on June 28th at a theater near you.
Find a theater.
Find a theater. Go there and you find that theater. And you sit and watch it, hopefully. Please, thank you.
Now, tell us about some of the other projects that we may have seen you in.
That you may have seen me in. NCIS. I had some fun being a quirky agent on NCIS. A lot of different, like so many different shows playing so many different characters, like a serial killer, Sicilian serial killer on Castle, quirky agent on NCIS, kind of hippie stoned teacher on Suburgatory. So I've been lucky in that.
It's a broad range.
Yeah.
It works.
I get lucky that way.
Now, out of all of those, what has been your favorite so far?
My favorite so far, I just had so much fun with that character in Suburgatory.
Yeah?
Yeah. Such a funny show and such an interest, like they're just written so well and the characters are so fantastic. But right now I'm actually working on a web series with my husband, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Working with my husband. Tricky but wonderful. It's called John and Jen Are Married. Written by a dear friend of us who's a genius, of ours, who's a genius comedic writer. And it's about a very dysfunctional marriage where they get crazy and, kidnap people and steal babies and
typical dysfunctional marriage.
Totally typical stuff. So that's been really fun working with him, and we fight and are interesting.
New dynamic.
Yes.
Now, who's the one person that you would absolutely love to work with?
Who's the one person who I would absolutely love to work with? I'm slightly obsessed with Cate Blanchett. Maybe he's just on the brain, but Robert Downey Jr. is a genius. He's a genius. He's so natural and so fascinating to watch. Those are the two that come to mind. I'm coming for you, Cate and Robert. I did meet Robert Downey Jr. in my Starbucks when I was 19.
Hey.
So we're just going to be reunited, basically, is what I'm thinking.
Now, in one word, describe your passion.
Describe my passion in one word.
Yes.
Describe my passion in one word. Passion.
Hey, that's very passionate.
That's my word about passion. Fail.
Well, how about you describe it in a couple words then? Or what is your passion? Is it acting then?
I would have to say.
All right.
I would have to say, and this relates to being an actor, trying to get to what makes us the most human, We all have so much delicate humanness that we try to cover up or hide or protect or mask, or we all do. And I love, as a person in my life, with friends, with strangers, trying to, make everybody more comfortable with who they are and being who they are and get at that. And I think as an actor, that's what I'm always looking for, to find as much humanness as I can and have us all feel better about being alive.
All right. A lot more than one word, but I think it was aptly put.
You think? Was that more than one word? Passion.
Now, if you had to choose another career aside from acting, what would it be?
Would probably be a therapist along those same lines. If
like, is in terms of psychological therapy, or
Yeah,
like helping people.
Yeah,
getting into the humanity of it.
Yeah,
I
like peoples.
Okay.
Peoples is peoples. That's a quote from Muppets Take Manhattan.
Hey, then you can't go wrong with Muppets.
Wapa.
Well, I mean, you can, but
you can, but it's rare.
It is.
It's rare to go wrong with a Muppet.
Now, are there any more projects that you're currently working on?
John and Jen.
Okay.
Husband, web series.
Husband.
Yes. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's going to start airing in June. I think there's a Facebook page. John
People
and
look out for that.
J-O-N. John and Jen.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, describe your personal style in 3 words.
T-shirts, jeans, and boots.
So simple. I like that. I like that.
I think that's what's actually happening currently.
It is.
Yes.
You know what?
See, I don't lie. It's not all smoke and mirrors. Yes. That's my personal style. It's rather relaxed. That's
Relax
the polite
is always
term.
enjoyable.
That's the polite term. Yeah.
Now, what is your one wardrobe essential?
A pair of jeans. I'm really not that fancy. A wardrobe essential. What would be a fancy answer to that question? Come up with it for me. Other than jeans, because I have to sound
real
fancy.
here.
What would be a fancy? What would for you be a fancy wardrobe item for a girl?
For a girl, some sort of hairpiece.
Hairpiece.
Something
It's my
accentuate
hairpieces.
the.
I can't live without my hair accessories. It's true. Don't leave home without them.
All right.
Next question.
Of course. Now, when was the last reason and why you got all dressed up? Aside from your t-shirts, jeans, and boots.
Aside from my t-shirts, jeans, and boots. I love going to friends' weddings.
Okay.
That's always fun.
Hey.
And you get to be a little funky and a little romantic.
Yes.
And look cute.
Definitely.
That's my last thing I got dressed up for.
So it was a wedding then?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, if you had $1 million but could only spend it on strangers,
Okay.
you know, what would you do and why?
If I had $1 million to spend on strangers, I would probably go to women's shelters because I did a lot of work in that area as a young adult person, and I think they need all the $1 million that we can find.
Okay, I think so too.
Yes.
I think so too.
Yes.
Now, what is something that people may not know about you?
People would not know that I often do my makeup at stoplights.
All right.
Which is probably illegal. They would not know that I have a birdhouse made out of a Scholastic Peter Pan book.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Now, did you make it yourself or did you find it that way?
I found it that way. But
I
I
was gonna
pretend
say.
sometimes that I made it myself.
Hey,
But I didn't.
pretend Peter Pan, it works.
I once had a bird.
Did you? Had, so.
Yes, because I got it as a gift and it was a cockatiel and I loved her and she loved me. She started laying eggs and I looked it up and they do that when they fall in love with their owner. So I didn't want to clip her wings because how sad is that, and leave her in a cage, so it was living in an apartment at the time. And I wouldn't clip her wings, so she would just fly around the apartment and like land on things and land on my shoulder. And then she flew away.
Oh.
Because as well she should.
She knew you loved her, so she was like, she's going to accept me.
And those are 3 fun facts that are so random. Yep.
All right, so what is your advice for anyone trying to break into the biz?
Oh boy. Allot yourself about a decade to get anywhere, really, if you're starting from scratch and don't have crazy connections. You have to get that it has to be about the love for it, because the doors, believe it or not, it's shocking, they don't come barging down.
Really?
They don't come knocking for you.
I
You
wouldn't
can
have
sit
thought.
there and drink milkshakes in Hollywood for days. Nothing.
Probably weeks.
Weeks, months, years. It has to be like, you have to just love it so much that you can't do anything else. And people will reject you, and you won't get anywhere. And then you'll stick around a little longer, and then something will happen. And then, it kind of goes like that for years
So it's
and
about
years
your
and years
one
and
word,
years.
passion.
Passion, my word. I'd like to bring it all back to passion and birds.
Now, do you have any sites such as, Facebook or Twitter?
Yes, I have the Facebook.
Or the Facebook?
The Facebook is Jackie Geary. Easy to remember. I'm there. Twitter is @FakeJackieGeary.
All right.
Because who's to say I'm the real one?
Well,
There are other
it's more
very
fun to
real
play.
Jackie Gearys out there in the world. I know this. I've seen them.
You have?
No.
No.
But when I tried to take things like
It's gone.
Jackie Geary, it's gone. So there's another very real Jackie Geary out there. My Instagram is Kick It Into Geary.
I like that. Good play on words. Well, I liked it.
I'm a geek. It was that. Kick It Into High Geary, but that's very long. No rest for the Geary.
Hey,
Didn't go with that.
do you rest?
I do.
Okay.
So I would have been lying. But I didn't go with it.
That's online. So.
Yeah.
What is a personal quote of your own that you would like to stamp onto the world?
Other than passion.
Other than passion.
Other than
It can be more than one word.
Scholastic Peter Pan birdhouse.
More than that.
More than that.
It's a mouthful though.
More than that. My own personal quote that I want to stamp on the world is, get out there, kids, and eat a sandwich.
Meat on your bones.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Or a cupcake.
Cupcakes are delicious.
Both sandwiches and cupcakes are great. Cupcake sandwich.
Together, I think we may have come up with something.
Cupcake sandwich. Go out there, make one and eat it.
Well, thank you very much,
You're welcome.
Jackie.
You are
and
welcome.
It has been a pleasure.